Google AdWords, best platforms for B2B ads, where B2B buyers actually start, and why search still wins. B2B buyers don't wake up thinking about your funnel. They wake up with problems to solve. Then they research those problems online before they ever talk to sales. That reality is why paid media matters in B2B, and why Google AdWords, now Google Ads, remains the default starting point for most teams trying to capture demand at the exact moment intent shows up. Most of the buyer journey now happens digitally, and many buyers prefer to research online before engaging with sales. If your brand doesn't show up where that research happens, search results, comparison pages, LinkedIn feeds, you're effectively donating pipeline to competitors who do. The key is to treat paid media as a revenue system, not a traffic faucet. In B2B, clicks and even leads can be a mirage unless you connect campaigns to CRM outcomes and an SDR follow-up motion that moves fast enough to convert interest into meetings. Why Google Ads anchors B2B advertising? Google Ads anchors B2B advertising because it captures demand that already exists. In the US alone, search ads drove $102.9 billion in revenue in 2024 and represented roughly 39.8% of total digital ad spend. So opting out isn't saving budget, it's leaving high-intent prospects unchallenged in the auction. The reach is also hard to ignore. Google's ad ecosystem can reach over 90% of internet users worldwide, which is why search remains the water supply for B2B discovery. Category queries, competitor comparisons, pricing searches, and urgent problem statements. Performance reinforces the strategy. Many B2B teams report PPC as a core or top-performing paid channel, and paid traffic often converts meaningfully better than organic. One widely cited benchmark is about 50% better conversion performance when accounts are tightly structured and aligned to intent. The caveat is important. The channel works when you're precise, not when you're broad. Build the right platform mix, capture demand, then create it. The most reliable B2B approach is to treat Google Ads as your demand capture engine and pair it with platforms that create and shape demand earlier in the journey. Search finds people who are already in market. Channels like LinkedIn and video help you reach the full buying committee before they ever type a query, which matters when deals are high ticket and sales cycles are long. LinkedIn is the essential complement because it's built for B2B targeting. It's frequently cited as the source of roughly 80% of B2B social media leads, and it consistently ranks as a top-value platform for B2B marketers, especially when you need to specify seniority, job function, industry, and account lists rather than relying on keyword intent alone. If you're deciding where to start, the practical rule is simple. Start with Google Ads if your category has meaningful search volume and you can convert that intent into sales conversations. Start with LinkedIn if search volume is thin, you're carving out a newer category, or you need account-based precision. Most mature teams run both because each covers what the other can't. What to run in Google Ads and how to keep it B2B clean. For most B2B teams, the core of Google Ads' success comes from tightly themed search campaigns built around commercial intent. Category terms, pain problem terms, competitor alternatives, versus comparisons, and branded protection. The goal is not more keywords. It's fewer, better keywords that map cleanly to a dedicated landing page and a clear next step. B2B accounts also win or lose on traffic quality controls. That means prioritizing exact and phrase match early, building negative keyword lists aggressively, and separating campaigns by intent so you're not blending what is research queries with pricing or demo queries. It also means avoiding the common mistake of driving paid clicks to a generic homepage, where high-intent visitors bounce because the page doesn't answer the query. Beyond search, display and YouTube tend to work best when used strategically for remarketing. Stay in front of site visitors, pricing page viewers, content downloaders, and past opportunities. Keep targeting tight. Judge success on assisted conversions and account engagement, and use creative that supports the next conversation your SDRs will have, not brand fluff that looks good but doesn't move pipeline. In B2B, the ad click is the beginning of the sales process, not the finish line. Benchmarks that matter and the ones that don't. Benchmarks are useful only if you use them to sanity check, not to steer. Broad averages often show Google Ads CTR around 6 to 7%, conversion rate around 7.5%, and average cost per lead around $70. But B2B frequently runs higher because the keywords are competitive and the deals are larger. A healthier way to set targets is to back into your acceptable CPL from unit economics. Target CAC payback period, win rate from SQL to closed won, and average contract value. In many B2B SaaS and services categories, paying $100 to $400 per lead can be perfectly rational if those leads predictably turn into SQLs and opportunities. The benchmark that actually matters is inside your CRM: cost per SQL, cost per opportunity, and pipeline per dollar spent. If you can't see those numbers, you don't have a performance problem, you have an instrumentation problem, and optimizing CTR won't fix it. Turning paid clicks into pipeline: CRM tracking plus SDR speed. The biggest gap we see is not ad strategy, it's the handoff. If leads from Google Ads don't land in your CRM with campaign, ad group, and keyword context attached, you can't optimize toward revenue, and your SDRs can't personalize outreach. That's how teams end up buying leads that never become meetings. You also need a follow-up SLA measured in minutes, not days. High-intent form fills decay fast, especially for demo, pricing, and compare queries where the buyer is actively shortlisting vendors. When your SDR team responds quickly with a relevant message tied to the exact offer the prospect engaged with, connect rates and show rates tend to improve dramatically. This is where a sales development agency, or SDR agency, can be the difference between profitable ads and wasted spend. At SalesHive, we've built processes that align paid media with outbound execution, pairing fast inbound follow-up with proactive sequences into lookalike accounts, so you're not limited by search volume alone. Whether you run an in-house team or an outsourced sales team, the principle is the same. Treat paid as a meeting engine, not a lead factory. Common B2B Google Ads mistakes and how to fix them. The most common mistake is chasing volume with broad targeting. Broad match without guardrails, generic landing pages, and one campaign for everything structures usually produce junk clicks and low-quality MQLs. The fix is disciplined segmentation by intent, ruthless negatives, and landing pages that match the query with a single, clear conversion goal. The next mistake is optimizing to the wrong North Star. If you optimize to cost per lead without scoring and without offline conversion tracking, you'll often teach the algorithm to find cheaper leads, not better leads. The fix is to import offline milestones, SQL, meeting held, opportunity created, and optimize bids towards signals that correlate with revenue. Finally, many teams underinvest in the human system that closes the loop. Paid media can fill the top of the funnel, but it won't run the follow-up sequences, handle objections, and book meetings. If you need that muscle, partnering with a B2B sales agency, cold email agency, or cold calling agency can turn ad engagement into conversations, especially when your SDR motion references the exact ad, keyword theme, or content offer that triggered the lead. How to launch a 30 to 60-day test you can trust. A credible B2B Google Ads test needs enough volume to learn. If your average CPC is in the $5 to $15 plus range, and you want 30 to 50 conversions per core campaign to make decisions, you'll typically need an initial budget in the $5K to $20K per month range, focused on a narrow set of high-intent themes instead of spread thin across dozens of experiments. Design the test around outcomes, not clicks. One clear offer per intent cluster, one dedicated landing page per offer, clean CRM attribution, and a defined SDR workflow for routing and follow-up. If your ICP is narrow, layer LinkedIn targeting and remarketing so you can reach the committee even when search volume is small. From there, iterate with a sales-first mindset. Use search term reports to expand what's working and block what's not. Review call notes to refine messaging, and align marketing and sales weekly so you can move fast. When paid and SDR execution run as one system, whether in-house or via sales outsourcing, cold calling services, and B2B cold calling services, you stop paying for interest and start paying for pipeline.